right hand. It's just sort of an attractive minor second. And then that resolves to the B flat chord again. I've just filled in the chords, but they're essentially the same. Go back to C. All the while I'm keeping the F in the bass, and then back to F. For variation, you can change the inversions. I might try, this time it's not over an F, but I'm just walking down in the bass. Same chords in the right hand, but by walking down in the bass, you can give it some variety. So that works real nicely coming out of Give Thanks or any song like it. Okay. The next one I want to look at comes out of the song called Song of Moses out of Revelation. And it's a pretty simple progression. Basically, it would be G to E minor to C to D. I work around those chords, but that's the basic skeleton. I'll show you how I do that. For the middle of the song, I use this progression, so that's what I start with in the worship section, is like a G2. You can see G in the bass. The second is right here in my right hand, the A, and I resolve that. I do a series of 2-1 suspensions and resolutions. There's a resolution, then I may go down to the 7th and come back up to the root again. Okay, then I would move to E minor, which I can do simply by changing the left hand. I don't have to change anything in the right hand at all. This is a C chord. I'm going to again do the 2-1 resolution, D to C, and go ahead and do the 7-2. Now to close the pattern off, I'll just go straight to the D chord. All I've done there is D. I've added the second tone, D2, A minor 7. There's the A, 3rd, 5th, and 7th. Back to the top. A minor 7. Just to break up that progression and let us know that it's gone through one time, and then just repeat that. You can break out by doing some melodic things. And there I'm just doing, they're a sixth apart. Melodic things. The voicing is a melody and the sixth below. That just helps it give a little bit more interest. Down to C. D, A minor, D. And that's a real appropriate progression for worship. The third one I'm going to do comes out of a song called Come Into the Holy of Holies. That's a song that we typically do it in B flat. It can be done in A. Probably C would be a little bit too high, but the chorus of that goes, lifting a holy hands to the King of Kings, worship Jesus. That ends the chorus. Well, that last line makes a real nice worship progression, going back down to G minor for worship Jesus. For that section, I'll show you the chords. We'll start out with a B flat over C in the bass. I've just got my B flat. right here. The third, I'm building it with the D on top, so I'll go under for the F, which is the fifth of the chord, and then again the D. I'm just going to follow the melody down to C. Worship. The chord is C minor 7. I've got the C minor triad, C on top, and I've added the 7th with my fourth finger. Worship. Move the bass to an F, keeping the same position in my right hand, and then I resolve. Look at the inner notes in my right hand. This triad is all going to move to F and A to come to a pure F major chord. So these three notes are closing in on F and A. Then I'll take C minor over B flat in the bass, and then move quickly to a pure B flat major chord. G minor 7 is a pivot chord back into the pattern. The last time you probably wouldn't want to put that in there, but to go back into it, you can move down to the G in the bass, keeping the right hand position exactly the same. On beat 3 and 4, you'd want to move to G and then turn around and do it again. For the fourth worship progression, I would come out of the song, Exalt the Lord our God. Exalt the Lord our God. Exalt the Lord our God. That's how the song begins, and that's the progression I want to steal. It ends like this. We worship you, Lord, for your name is holy. We worship you, Lord, for your name is holy. Then I'd go back to that first progression I showed you, which is simply G minor 7. I have G in the bass. I'm going ahead and adding the 7 right here. Here's G again, the 3rd, 5th, and 7th. Then I go to C2. See, I've got, it's in root position, the 3rd, the 5th, and I'm adding the 2nd here in the middle. Back and forth like that. You probably want to do something, give it a little bit of a melody. You can work around that. You may have noticed on the G minor 7, I was adding in the 9th. G, 3rd, 5th tone, 7th tone. The A is the 9th tone for a G minor 7 chord, and I've just included it here, just to make it a little bit different. You can experiment and add tones to your chords, see if you like them. And then after a while, you'll become familiar with the sounds that you can create and know that it will work or not work. The last chord progression doesn't necessarily come out of any specific chorus, but you'd use it from a minor song, and it starts on D minor. And any song in a minor key, you could adapt to this, but I'll start in D minor, go to B flat major 7. There's the 7th. To G, I'm sorry, to C, C2, I can put the 2 in there if I want. G, again, I can put the 2nd in if I want to, and then back to D minor. You You can give 4 counts to each chord and just play with that structure. I've got root position D minor. Just walk down in the bass to a B flat. I've changed nothing in the right hand. Very similar chords except for the bass. And I just go to a C major. I've got the triad and the G down in my thumb. And then to a G chord. Adding some kind of melody really gives it interest. Suspensions. That's a 2-1 suspension. I'll do another 2-1. And then come back to D minor. You might want to do it softly a few times just to get out of that progression. So that's it, 5 worship chord progressions that you can use in open worship with your congregation. They're fairly easy to sing spontaneously to, and enjoyable to play as well. So,
this video has been a production of Psalmist Resources. Additional resource products are also available from our ministry. These include instructional videos, various audio cassettes, both music and teaching, instructional and reference books on music and worship, and Psalmist, the Praise and Worship magazine. All of these resources are designed to help better equip you to minister in praise and worship. For more information, contact Psalmist Resources, 9820 East Watson Road, St. Louis, Missouri, 63126, or call area code